Hey friends, today is Sunday, August 14th, 2022. I'm here for your weekly reading for the upcoming week. As we begin mid-August, or the coming into the back half of August, as the summer slowly fades away, right? Hope you all had a great weekend. And I've got as usual, I've got the Robin Wood deck and the Pride Tarot deck to clarify as much or as little as necessary. We'll jump right into it. We'll do a Celtic cross and kind of get a good view for what the week holds for you for the next couple of days. All right, and let's start with your current energy. We have the Six of Pentacles. And what do we have crossing you? We have the Magician. I love these cards. Look at that. I mean, that's a great depiction and representation of the Magician. Okay, in the area of our recent past, we have the Page of Swords. In the area of our more distant past, we have the Three of Cups. Kind of what's crowning us, or what's kind of on the immediate horizon, the Six of Swords. This was in last week's reading in some capacity. I just can't think of what capacity that was. So, in the near future, we have the Seven of Swords. What's representing you is the Page of Wands. What's representing the person or situation coming at you this week? Wow, the Ace of Cups. I'm kind of blanked on what that was. The Ace of Cups is the person or situation coming at you this week. So, hey, could be a start of a new love connection or something like that. In the area of your hopes and fears, we have the Eight of Swords. So maybe your fears, maybe they're in your head. Maybe you need to get out of your head. And then the outcome. Oh, this is great. Look at that. We have the Four of Wands. Okay, well, we could very well be talking about our relationship here just by looking at a few of the different cards here and getting the general vibe. So I think when we talk about your current energy is the Six of Pentacles. You know, maybe you're being very generous recently. Maybe you're feeling particularly generous with some of your friends, family, and maybe somebody new is in your life and you're being particularly generous with them. Sharing good times with them is kind of what I get from this too. And I think, when we say what is crossing you, and we have the Magician. Remember, the Magician is, the Magicians are number one in the tarot deck, right after the Fool. The Magician, he's a manifester. He creates everything that he needs, and he also has, and he wants. And he also has all the tools and capabilities to do so. So, maybe you've been manifesting a lot of wealth and abundance in your life, and you're sharing that. And that's kind of what I'm getting from these two cards together. Things are going well, maybe at work, maybe you've got extra income coming in. Whatever it is, you're sharing it. And maybe your time. I mean, let's be honest, time is valuable. We only have so much time. And, you're manifesting the things that you want in your life, and you're sharing all of these experiences with somebody. So I think that's a great place to be. And then when we talk about like your more recent past, we have the Page of Swords. So the Page of Swords is someone coming in with a message, typically a younger person, somebody who is running with something, running with an idea, running with some new clarity, bringing some clarifying information. And maybe this is related to your more distant past, which was this Three of Cups. Maybe this Three of Cups is a celebration. It's a celebration amongst friends. This is threesome. It's a tripod, whatever you want to call it. It could be more, could have been some information coming in about a particular recent advancement or something that's gone on in your life that has grown tremendously. So I think that that's interesting. Let's see how it kind of plays out in the rest of the deck here. In the area of what's crowning you, kind of like what's on the immediate horizon, we have like the Six of Swords. So the Six of Swords is, maybe things are calming down. It seems to me like things have been very busy lately. And things have been very busy, but in a really good way. Like, it's been fun. Like, maybe this is kind of like reflecting back on where your summer has been. A lot of celebration, a lot of, messages, a lot of people reaching out, connecting with you. Maybe it's just connecting with good friends. Maybe that's what the recent past to the distant past. Maybe this whole summer has been about connecting with friends and family and enjoying yourself, celebrating life, celebrating all the great things that are going on. And I think that's a great thing. What's on the immediate horizon is maybe a bit of a slowdown. Maybe you're going to shift focus a little bit, and like be like, you know, kind of taking the stance that, all right, we've been celebrating life, we've been partying quite a bit. Let's you know, buckle down. Let's get down to something else. Let's move on to something new. And it could also be the transition. Maybe you're going back to school or something, or maybe kind of like returning to work, or it's almost like we're moving on from like the end of like a period of time off is kind of like what it feels like. But it's been extremely successful and a great, you know, experience for you. So this could be moving on. But it also means like calmer waters ahead. Things are just getting easier. And if you look at this particular one, it's probably hard to see on the camera here. There's like a shadowy figure, and the shadowy figure is, you know, it could be like a guardian angel, for example. It's what I often think is what that represents. So, you know, it could be that there's somebody's watching over you. It could be, you know, it could be your guardian angel. It could just be like your inner being, so to speak, and it's kind of like guiding you in this direction. So you're being guided in this new direction. In the area of like what your future holds, we have the Seven of Swords, which, you know, in and of itself can be a little concerning because it's kind of like the dark clouds. And, you know, this particular card, he is dressed in all black. He's in a black coat. He's kind of concealing his identity. He's got swords underneath the cloak, and he seems to be kind of like racing off, right? Very quickly. So while this could be theft, it could be deception. It could just also indicate that like your future's going to hold a time of like you're going to need to be like cunningly creative and planning. You're going to have to plan something out, is what this could be. This could be just in light of the cards, right? And like in the future, I guess, hey, listen, anytime this comes up, yeah, I would say, you know what, just do some simple things, right? You don't want to be a victim of theft. Lock your house, lock your car doors. Don't leave your valuables out in plain sight. Basic things, right? And maybe that's kind of what this is quite simply that. Although I do wonder if it's more than that because it's tying here to generosity. Maybe it's somebody, I almost wonder, with this card being your current energy, sharing the wealth and abundance, is somebody going to be taking advantage of? Is somebody taking advantage of you, or will somebody start taking advantage of you? That could be the case with this Seven of Swords. Very well could be the case. So, you know, be mindful of that. Don't let anybody take advantage of you. Just be consciously aware, okay? And kind of keep that in mind. It could be a number of different things. Like I said, it could be on the simplest manner. It could be as simple as, you know, you just need to think about new ways of doing things and kind of take a different approach and maybe do some planning. And it might require you to be very strategic. On the other hand, it could also be like, by the way, you know, you've been very generous lately, and somebody's gonna take advantage of you in the future. So either think about who's in your circle and who, you know, could be in this particular situation and could be taking advantage of you, or could be in a position to take advantage of you. Your generosity, your time, your money, your resources, whatever that might be. Okay. And you can kind of use this time to kind of, you know, determine who around you could fit this bill and how do you want to handle that situation. The card that's representing you, we have the Page of Wands. So this is pursuing like a new passion. So this could be related to like your immediate horizon too, right? Moving on to calmer waters, trying something new. Maybe you're moving on. Maybe you're celebrating kind of like, maybe you've been celebrating the ending of a job, given this Three of Cups. You've been celebrating something. A news came in and you've been celebrating something. And you've been sharing the wealth and abundance. So this could be like you're pursuing a new idea, a new business opportunity, something brand new, something that's fun and exciting. I don't know what that is, but whatever it is, it's kind of like lighting you up, and it's exciting, and you're starting this new beginning. In the area of like the particular situation, the situation of person, you know, depending on whichever one resonates with you, the situation of the person is represented by the Ace of Cups. This is one of my favorite The lighting is kind of bad for this. This is one of my favorite Ace of Cups tarot cards. Not only because of the coloring, because of the sun rising up above the cup, but then the mountains and the water behind it are all kind of like a pinkish and purplish hue. And it just looks beautiful, right? And of course the water is overflowing the cup. So this is a new beginning in love. This is a relationship. This is something that's blossoming. And it doesn't have to be a love relationship. It very well often is. But it could also be a beautiful connection and friendship. Could be a friendship. Could also be like a business. It could also be like a great relationship, professional relationship too. So that's what this could be. Now, in the area of your hopes and fears, we have the Eight of Swords, right? So on the table, I have both the 7 and the 8. So the 7 and 8, I think the 7 is, like I said, usually more of like deceit, deception, taking advantage, that kind of thing. Whereas the 8 of Swords is kind of like a self-imprisonment. So, maybe you're kind of beating yourself up and you're in your head a lot about something. This could be your hopes and fears, or probably your fears, right? Your fears being that, you kind of get up in your head, and maybe if this is a relationship, the personal situation, if the situation is a brand new relationship, this might be like you're in your head. So, I think you need to get out of your head to realize and appreciate and really love the brand new relationship that's coming in, because the outcome is the Four of Wands. The Four of Wands, the wands they form what looks like 11-11, right? Which is serendipitous, which is usually like a sign of being on the right path, and it's also related to twin flames, all sorts of things. If you Google 11-11, you'll see all sorts of things there. So if you're seeing it, but the Four of Wands, no doubt, regardless of where these poles are, is indicative of a marriage, some sort of a commitment, a particular ceremony and a bigger celebration. So you celebrated. So, maybe this is even like that person, you and this person are getting married. Maybe there was a celebration, maybe in the recent past you got engaged, and what's coming is this particular love situation, and you're getting married. Just remember, you might have cold people. It's common to get cold feet. Don't get out of your head. Really analyze, think about all you appreciate about this particular person, what your favorite attributes are of this particular person, and I think if you reflect on all the wonderful times you've had and kind of think about those things, see where your energy goes. You're going to rise up and you're going to be on the higher end. So you'll be vibrating at a higher level there, which I think is probably a great thing. But you're going to get there because the outcome is the marriage card. So maybe you've got a marriage coming up, and that's awesome. That's great. And like I said, be mindful of someone taking advantage of you. And this could be, maybe this is somebody related to the wedding. It could be planning the ceremony. It could be, maybe you're handing out a lot of money. Maybe you're handing out a lot of money for the ceremony, and you just make sure no one is screwing you over or is going to abscond with the money. Make sure you've got those contracts signed, and anything along those lines. I don't want to be a Debbie Downer, but I'm just saying, hey, that could be a possibility, right? Tarot isn't necessarily about what's going to happen. It's kind of like, this is what we're seeing. This is what the cards are telling us or suggesting. You certainly have the benefit of, listening to your mind, listening to your intuition, quieting your mind, responding, and then taking different action, taking inspired action. So, doesn't necessarily mean any of this has to happen. This is kind of like, hey, here's what we're seeing, or here's what the cards are telling us could be coming. Let's get some clarification. How about we clarify the Seven of Swords? Well, let's pull 2 cards for the Seven of Swords. Tell us more about what's on the horizon. This is the 2 of the junk cards. Not the junk cards, but you know what I mean. They're like the jokers of a regular deck of cards. So let's see. Okay, 2 cards. We want to know more about the Seven of Swords in our future. What do we know about the Seven of Swords? What else do we need about the Seven of Swords? So we got the Nine of Wands. And that's kind of like the wounded warrior, right? He's wounded, he's beaten down, he's kind of worn down. Let's pull in one more. Okay, and we have the Messenger, which I believe is equivalent. So the Messenger is unique to the Pride Tarot deck, and it might be in place of the Judgment card. Let me just double check that, because frankly, I just don't remember. They decided they wanted to mix it up a little bit, and they put in this other card. Okay, so technically the messenger is also the Hierophant, which, in the Hierophant, so why did they do that? This really portrays like an activist for transgender and immigrant protection. So they chose to use this particular card. She asks you to run between the physical and astral planes, questioning the roots in the situation. So synonymous, or ideally or technically, whatever, synonymous with the Hierophant. So this is kind of like questioning the ideals. This is also like maybe with the Hierophant, it's almost like a little bit of the opposite of the Hierophant, in the sense that the Hierophant is all about tradition, religion, culture, a lot of teachings, ceremonies. It could be related to marriage as well. The messenger is also about like questioning and challenging things. So what do these three cards have in common? So we have, like I said, we've got the Seven of Swords. Seven of Swords is the primary, what's coming up in our future. Nine of Wands is kind of like the wounded warrior. And maybe this is, I'm just looking at these cards. They actually are really nice looking cards. And it's funny how like one is very like blues and purples and pinks. And this one is much more brighter. It's a kind of like, it's like a sunny day. Might even be like a late afternoon, judging by the way, like it seems to be a little bit darker where the people are. So this could just be like the wounded warrior, someone who's kind of beaten down and is now starting to question things. And so maybe it could be the case where, you find yourself, you're kind of giving up. Like maybe in the future, you're kind of saying, all right, I've been doing something and it hasn't been really working out well for me. Or it could be you kind of giving in, throwing in the towel and being like, okay, you know what? I've been resisting, or holding back in my head. This what it could also be is like kind of, the Seven of Swords could be something related to that, frankly. It could be, almost like your subconscious kind of holding you back. These could be your limitations. These could be everything that's holding you back. And really, you've been kind of living in this beaten down point, where you've been kind of held back for a long time by, you've been beating yourself up. And then this is kind of like the questioning of those. So that's what it could be. So maybe it's kind of, and the fact that you're questioning it is good because you're kind of coming out of it. But remember, Four of Wands, marriage. So get out of your head. Get out of your head, because you know what? It's a great happy ending. It's one of the best cards we've seen. So enjoy the week ahead. Drop any comments or questions you have in the comment section down below. Check in midweek and let me know kind of like what resonates with you. Did anything I pointed out here make any sense to you? So do that, and we'll have a great week, everybody. Thanks so much for joining me today.